Wisconsin Eye's 2014 election coverage is brought to you by the Wisconsin Hospital Association. For over 90 years, a valued voice for Wisconsin hospitals, supporting high-quality, high-value care in communities like yours.
Wisconsin Eye is at the Milwaukee Public Library. We're interviewing candidates in the 2014 elections. We're interviewing Bria Grant. She's a Democrat. She's from Milwaukee. She's running in the 10th Assembly District. Bria, welcome to Wisconsin Eye.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Just a note, Wisconsin Eye appreciates the support of the Wisconsin Hospital Association, which represents more than 139 hospitals and health systems, for making these candidate interviews possible. Bria, give us the short, this is your first interview on Wisconsin Eye. Give us the short version of your bio and why you're running, please.
Well, I have a degree in human services, which really sparked my interest into the public service that I've done prior to attending college as a youth, helping my classmates, working with children, working in the community, some of the most impoverished areas in Milwaukee. I served as an AOTA counselor, mental health counselor, which also kind of, invigorated my desire to, just throw myself into public work. So those things have helped me understand that the need for great leaders, great legislators that are going to understand what those issues are and identify real solutions and develop a plan to move our community forward.
Well, let's talk about some K-12 issues now. When we were talking, you say you do some work for MPS. Mm-hmm. Well, if you could wave a wand, how would you help MPS? Just the biggest ways?
Well, MPS is a really large system, a huge district, and with any entity as large as MPS, Milwaukee Public School Systems, you're going to have some areas of disconnection. And if I could wave a magic wand, I would just connect all the dots that need to be connected.
Just one or two things you do for MPS.
Well, currently what I do is I provide an opportunity for high school dropouts to reconnect with their high school diploma and provide them a paid work experience in the community.
Okay. You also, I find it intriguing, your website says you're a board member of a school choice or voucher school?
Yes.
You are?
Okay. I am.
Well, why do you believe in the option of choice or voucher schools, Bria?
Well, I will start by saying this, Steve, at 31, in a system that has been in place for 25 years, it's actually kind of all I know as an alternative to public school options. In addition, for me as a single mom, it is important that I have a partner in my children's education. And so the board that I sit on is my church school. And so it provides that foundation spiritually for my children, in addition to the academics that I desire for my children to have. I'm not opposed in any way to public Obviously, I work with MPS. I'm a graduate of MPS. I've never attended a private school growing up. However, I believe that it's important that parents have options, and as a taxpayer, my dollars, should follow my child, I believe, and so to have that privilege that so many individuals, especially electeds, have had to send their children to a private school, I'm grateful for that opportunity. I believe that there are some funding formula issues that need to be addressed. That I believe with great planning and strategic development, we can come up with some ideas, and so that's my stance on that.
As I do these interviews, I'm finding more and more candidates want to talk about Common Core. Do you support the Common Core standards, Bria?
Well, the Common Core in theory is a great idea. It's a great concept, but so was No Child Left Behind. And we are, dealing with some of the residual effects of that. And what happens is you don't see the effects of initiative like this until years later. And then sometimes to undo that work is so great and so drastic that, you have to implement something new to try and combat that. So I believe that in theory it's a great concept. The accessibility has to be fair. The standards have to be fair. And the reality of it in the 10th district, that isn't so. So our students come in at different levels, academically, socially, emotionally, and because of that, they may not necessarily be able to meet those standards that are found in the Common Core. I believe that, again, in theory, it could be great, but we need to make sure that all things being equal to ensure that this is successful for our students.
A question on healthcare. As you're aware, Governor Walker and the leaders of the Senate and the Assembly told the federal government, "We know you're offering us money to pay to expand MA. No, thank you." Wise or not so wise a decision, Bria?
Well, we're already paying for it, so that's one reason why it probably isn't the wisest thing to do. But additionally, specifically again here in the 10th Assembly District, we have a large population of individuals that need that coverage, and at the end of the day, we end up paying for it through emergency room visits. And with Wisconsin, toting the top of a lot of the health disparities in the country, we want to make sure that we're doing all that we can to address those issues and minimize those disparities in our communities.
Public transportation is being discussed as I talk to candidates from Milwaukee, but there's a larger transportation issue. There's a projected $650 million shortfall or deficit in the next 2-year budget of the Department of Transportation. Do you think we ought to delay some of these projects like the Zoo Freeway, the Hone Bridge, or raise taxes, or how would you fill that deficit? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be honest and say I'm not sure how we will fill that deficit. Definitely through research and study, which I wholly believe in, we can come up with some ideas. There are a number of different things that have crossed the table, such as tollways and increasing taxes and things of that nature. I definitely know this is an issue, especially with, again, in the 10th district, accessibility to jobs in the outer lane areas of the district for those residents that live within it. It's a huge issue, as well as the wear and tear on our vehicles for not having proper roads and the danger of unstable bridges and things of that nature. So it's definitely an area that I would love to be able to weigh out all the options, see what's on the table, and analyze what's our best solution.
Some candidates from Milwaukee talk about the need for a regional transit authority. Do you support that?
I do support that. I believe that if we're going to grow, we have to connect with other areas that are growing as well. We are not an island, even though some people would like to think that we are and that we're not a part of the state. We are actually the economic engine for the state. And so if we want to, expand our dollars, expand our opportunities, we have to connect those ideas and thoughts through transportation. And so I definitely believe in a regional authority, the transit authority, to connect us in all areas of the state.
Because it's so timely, I'm asking all legislative candidates, your reaction to Judge Crabb's decision on same-sex marriage, ma'am?
I believe that, well, let me first share that I grew up in a home partly where it was a same-sex couple, my mom and her partner, and I love her dearly. She played an important role in my life, in my children's lives, and I believe that anyone should be able to enter into a contractual agreement, protecting their relationship, protecting those benefits that sustain families.
Okay. The two candidates for Attorney General, this is on a criminal justice issue, say that the first offense drunken driving should be a crime. Do you have a position on that?
I struggle with this one because it only takes one time to drive drunk and kill someone. And because of that, it's kind of like you definitely want to put some measures in place. However, we don't want to continue to crowd our prison system. I think that the most important issue is the drinking culture in Wisconsin, and not just Milwaukee, but it is something that I believe has just been, kind of swept under the rug. And these are issues that lead to other issues. And I believe that that's the most important area that we need to identify some solutions for.
Okay, instead of making first offense a crime. Okay. I'm asking City of Milwaukee candidates this issue. What are your thoughts on why Wisconsin leads the nation in the incarceration of African American men?
Well,
we could talk about it for an hour, but just your thoughts.
Well, definitely there are more resources poured in the city of Milwaukee as it relates to law enforcement. I believe that happens out of fear of some of the stereotypes that are placed on our community. Additionally, working with AOTA, there are some social issues that our community, as a result of poverty, aren't always able to address. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, we sometimes don't have the right resources, the available things to help us address those areas, which results into other things. I believe that community-based organizations play a pivotal role in addressing some of our social ills in our community. And there are so many different angles that a person can look at when it comes to the high incarceration rate. Primarily, though, the higher policing that you have in an area, the more likely you are to, find people that may be, going against the law and prosecute. And then additionally, our judicial system, when it comes to defense attorneys and things of that nature that are overworked, have high caseloads, that don't have the proper time or resources to address some of the cases that they have. It's so many different variables when it comes to the high incarceration rate of our individuals in our community. The probation and parole, a lot of that incarceration comes from recidivism, violation of probation and parole, not new offenses, mm-hmm. which is something that I would love to be able to identify and address some solutions for that. But there are a lot of different things.
Okay. Whether we should raise the minimum wage is being debated in Madison and Washington. Your position on that, please?
Well, I believe that we need to have a living wage. The minimum wage is great, but if you cannot sustain your family, that's an even greater issue. I will say some concerns for me as a single mom and being, I don't want to say a victim, but, being affected by some of these policies that are in place when it comes to assistance. It can harm in some areas, and I can share my own experience where I received a slight increase and I couldn't receive childcare as a result. And the childcare for an infant is quite expensive, nearly $250 a week. And so the extra that I received in my paycheck went toward that and some. Right. So those are areas that I definitely believe we need to address when we're looking at increasing our minimum wage and identifying a reasonable living wage. Those assistance, government assistance that so many families, they depend on. Food share, health benefits, child care assistance. Those are really, really important things for families here in Milwaukee, especially in the 10th district. I want to make sure that our families can still sustain themselves and if these things are put in place.
I want to give you a chance to highlight any issues that are important to your campaign that I haven't asked you about. Anything you want to add?
Absolutely. I believe that one of the things that is really, really important and I really haven't identified is a working plan in moving our community forward. We cannot just throw out ideas and pies in the sky. We have to have something real tangible that we can say, these are the steps we need to take. These are the solutions. These are the issues. These are the resources. This is how we do it. These are the programs that are already in place and exist, and this is how we connect them so that we can really move things forward, so that we can have a real agenda to present to our colleagues. I think one of the other issues is that we're very polarized right now. The Democrats don't control our state, and we still need to be able to move our agenda forward regardless of who's controlling.
And finally, I want to give you a chance, if you choose to highlight any differences between you and your opponents in the primary. Anything you want to raise?
Definitely. I have worked in the trenches. I often in my life have dealt with some of the issues that the constituents face on a daily. So I know firsthand what they're experiencing. And because a lot of those things I've worked through, I know a lot of the solutions that are necessary to move them forward. Additionally, if anyone surveys the community, I reflect the district as a single mother, head of household. I have to say it, African American woman. I truly reflect the things that are going on in the community, how the community looks, and with that, I believe that I will best represent the district by articulating our issues, identifying our solutions, and being able to build relationships to help those things move forward.
Thank you. Bria Grant is a Democrat from Milwaukee. She's a candidate in the 10th Assembly District. The primary is August 12th. Bria, thanks for talking to Wisconsin
Thank you
Eye.
so much, Steve.
Thank you.